Well, good morning guys. It's been a while. A bit of catch up and a few bits and bats that I need to get on with and sort out in the garden due to several weekends off fitting and doing our new bathroom. Yeah, there's a lot of work that needs doing and a lot of tidying up that needs doing in here, that is for sure. This has been one hell of an experience. Very nice. Oh, look at nice. Have a look at that. Pond's just about, as you can see, overflowing and in need of a good water change. Fish are all doing okay. They're a bit down low. We've got a reduced flow on the pump because of the other day we've got tons and tons of leaves that have blown in and that have all clogged up the filter and the primary outdoor filter trickle tower, so we need to get all those serviced and cleaned up, cut back and tidy up of all the overgrowing plants, obviously cut and sort out of the garden lawn, which is an absolute state. But most of all, what I need to get done is trim back all this, which is growing across my neighbour's garden wall and up into his window area, so I need to get all these trimmed back, everything tidied up and sorted out. The mini pond has almost come to a complete, well, it's not, it's still running, but it's in need of a service and a clean on the filter on this one as well, and a general tidy up, check of the KH, check of the pH, check of the water parameters, and a good old water change, and removing all these leaves and any that might have sunk to the bottom and sort and tidy all them out. A little bit of neglect due to continuous busy weekends doing and everything that I had to do to get the bathroom completed. This meant that I've got some catching up to do this weekend. I have maintained and checked it, made sure everything was alright. I've just not done any water changes in a couple of weeks, so I want to get that done first as a priority. Get the filters a real good clean because we've just had, you know, a quick clean off the last couple of weekends, and get everything up and running and tidied and sorted out to make sure everything's just as it should be. We've definitely hit into autumn now. We've got leaves from the red acer that are all starting to drop off on the surface of the pond, and they're going to be continuing to get worse throughout now in the next couple of weeks and months. The oak trees will be dropping all their leaves before long, as you can see there just across on the car park area that we've got. All those will be dropping off. As you can see, there's a good fair few of them already in the garden, so I want to get all these cleaned up and tidied up before there's more of them on the pond. Obviously then I'm going to be giving the filter a good clean out, but I'm going to be making some changes to this filter as well. I'm going to be increasing the diameter of these pipes and increasing the diameter from this and dropping this into a 4-inch return and putting these up to a 3-inch. So we'll be coming in, I might even be upgrading this pipe work and taking it to a 2-inch, a 3-inch feed and then a 4-inch return, just so I can get some more flow in the pond and get water moving a bit quicker. But that won't be in a project for a later date, because the next big project I've got to do is going to be the reinstallation or removal and reinstallation of a new kitchen. So hence the reason why there's been a lack of content, guys. things need to be done, house needs to be maintained, as well as working life and as well as everyday life. It's things you've got to do, things start to catch up, start to look a little bit tired and start to look a bit worn, but it's been well worth it. We've got an absolutely lovely bathroom now, and I just want to get the house all done and sorted and ready and finished and give it a full decorate throughout, ready for Christmas, where we're all settling and gathering together as a nice family. So right, let's get cracked on with some of this lot. Alright guys, that's that mammoth task done. Well, nearly finished. Still got a bit of cleaning up and tidying to do. Now I'm on with doing the filter clean and putting the gear away. So, filters to do, big water change to do, as it's not had one for a good water change in several months. So that's the next task, and then onto the mini pond and give that a service and a clean. As you can see, the filter underneath this box here is gurgling away, so that needs to be cleaned as well. It's a big job, but the garden is trimmed back. I can't believe how much of that was growing into neighbour's garden, but that's all done and sorted now. Tidy up, looking a bit better. Still need to trim the top of this one, but yeah, can't be arsed. Done enough for what needed just to tidy the garden up. All I need to do now is to do a good filter clean and a good water change, because as you can see, water is a little bit tanned from the food that's going in. But everybody in there is doing well. More leaves. But yeah, I've got all the leaves off as well. But there's going to be a shed load more to come when this all drops off. But with the net on, it gets the majority. But yeah, that's the next job. Trim back all these lot. I'm going to be putting the lagging and stuff back down to protect all this. Because as you can see guys, temperature wise for me now are at 12.5 degrees. So it's dropping considerably colder on the night now than what it has been for a good while. But today is a beautiful day. Sun's out. Looking nice. And the garden's back in one shape again. I love it when they all do this. Come down bottom end here. All cruising up and down. And getting some fresh water in. A bit more clarity to the pond again. And it's nice to see them not flashing for a change. And everybody's doing well. Now guys, I knew there was quite a considerable amount of leaves that have landed on the surface of the pond over the last week or so with the heavy winds that we've had. But I've just cleaned out the leaf filter and it was absolutely rammed, chock-a-block with leaves off of this and leaves from off the surface of the pond and off this bush. So that needed a good clean out, and now we've got it cleared out and running again. I'm going to drop another little bit more water out and then went for a big fill back up. What a mass difference the change of seasons make, going to into autumn from summer, and the amount of leaves that you can get. I'm only having two. There's only 2 plants in here that drop leaves in this garden, or 3. But that's one at the side of me there as well. But that dropped those in summer because there was obviously not enough water. But it's quite surprising just how much crap one of those little leaf collectors picks up. Sort of like a inline skimmer on the filter system beforehand. So I'm glad I've got that thing, because that would have been a clogged up pump for sure, and then I'd have had to strip everything apart as well. Right, just checked my KH. My KH was down to 1. So that one has now been rectified. But just out of curiosity, I have a little bucket down here which I emptied last weekend. Which is just containing pond water. Sorry, pond water. Rainwater. So, out of curiosity, I'm going to find out what the pH of the rainwater is that I've collected in this little bucket just been down at the side of the house over the last week, and to see if that's why I'm having some effects with such a rapid drop in my KH in my pond. So, give these a quick swill out so we know that there's no in them. And then we're going to check the KH and the pH. Of what we've been having drop into the pond. There we go. We'll do the pH first. We'll do the pH first and we'll see what that shows us. KH do it afterwards. 5 drops. Now that ain't too bad. I reckon that is somewhere about 5 or 6 pH. But we will check it against the chart in a minute. But I know my KH out the tap is 0. And that's gone blue. So let's add a drop. There we go. So KH of 1. So the rainwater is obviously having an effect in reducing my KH as well. So let's go check the pH and see what it is on the chart. Follow me. Oh, come with me. That's interesting, isn't it? Rainwater KH is 1. Let me just set you down there. So the rainwater KH was 1. We'll get rid of that. We don't need that. But let's see what the pH was. I reckon roughly that one was around 5 or 6. And we've got the pH test kit there, which shows that one being 6. So the KH is 1 and the pH, which has been falling out of the sky, has been 6. Not that that proves much, other than what's falling out of the sky. Sorry, dodgy camera work. It's been a while, but yeah, worthwhile, worth checking. At least I know that the rain that we've been getting will be reducing my pH and will be reducing my KH, because the pond has been overflowing and I've just tipped out, you know, allowed it to pump out, and it's been topped back up again by the rain again, because we've had quite a bit, and then it's done it again and again. So I've had to lower the pond this morning when I started. Tuesday and on Sunday with the heavy rain that we've been getting. So that's going to be having a negative effect on the KH and the pH in my pond if it's falling and coming out, as that's just shown results there from the rainwater that I've caught just off the and that's literally not from off the roof or anything, that's just what's landed in that tub. And I emptied it last weekend, so I know that that's the rain that we've had this week. Interesting, eh? Right, let's get this pond topping back up. Well, that certainly increased the flow by giving that a good clean. And we've taken a good amount of water out, guys, because I'm giving it a good water change. But everybody in there is looking well. We're going through the dechlorinator, and I've also added some dechlorinator to make sure, because we're putting a lot of water in. This is going to take some time. It gives me a chance to go and have a bit of lunch. While this fills back up. Right guys, as the pond's almost completely filled back up now, I've just got one more job I want to do, which is to check the pump and make sure that none of those leaks that I had have made their way through into this, which I've got a sneaky suspicion they probably will have done. And for all those that are wondering how I do it and how I run it, I have an isolation valve here and an isolation valve here, which is before this. So when I isolate this, it's just that section of pipework there, which has a little bit of water in, and this section of pipework there. So anything that spills out is just a small amount catch with the towel. But it's a dry mounted pump which runs from the retro bottom drain. So we have the retro bottom drain, comes dead centre of the pond there where all the fish are. After the retro bottom drain, I've got a non-return valve which stops the water from seeping back out through this pipework from this pump here, and then it comes through the leaf catcher, from the leaf catcher down on an elbow 90, down on an elbow 90 again to the non-return valve, and then from the non-return valve to the retro bottom drain. And having that non-return valve there stops the whole pond pump from backflowing all the way back and allowing all the water to run back into the pond, which is a problem for when you're trying to prime one of these pond pumps. So if you don't have a non-return valve and you're dry mounted and your pond pump is above pond water level, whenever you try to prime these pumps, all it does is allow the water to flow back from that pipe, back across through that pipe, and down and back into your pond. So you can never get it to prime itself up unless you have a non-return valve fitted. So the non-return valve has a flap. When it's sucking the water up, the flap lifts up and allows the flow through. When you stop the pump and turn it off, the flap drops back and stops the water from flowing back out of the pond and back into the pump. Back out of the pump and the pipe work and back into the pond. So I have these isolation valves before and afterwards. That way then I can disconnect the pump and take it off and check it to make sure that if there is anything inside here, and I think there might be a koi tooth inside here because it's got a little bit of a rattle, or maybe a small piece of stone or a little piece of leaves or some leaves. So I'm going to just strip this back off, get it checked and then get it back up and running, and I'll show you how I do that when I start again. There we go guys, as expected, a small little bit of leaf inside here that's making a bit of a noise. So we're going to get this cleaned out and get this removed and then back up, and I'll show you the process of priming it back up again. Right, after reconnecting the pump back up, what I do is then open up this valve and the water that I've got then in there, the water that I've got in there, which is in this pipe, because this pipe is on a slight gradual increase, is allowed then to flow back down into the pond pump and reprimes the pump. Again, opening this valve, these are really stiff, allows that then to backflow into this section and in turn primes the section of pipe work with what backflows in. And then it's just a case of starting the pump back up again and it self primes, and that's it, back up and running. Having a head of water in this pipe before the pump and the isolation valve there and the isolation valve there allows that water then to reprime the pump for you and the pipe work for you without having to do anything or add water in there. And the non-return valve stops it from backflowing through and into the pond. So there we go guys, that's it, filter system's up and running. We can get this shut up and closed off. It's running at 8,000 litres an hour, and this one is running at 4 or 5,000 litres an hour. Giving it a good water change has actually now brought it up to 13.5 degrees, so the fish will be feeling a slight bit of a benefit of a degree warmer. We're almost completely refilled back up, just got about another couple of centimetres in, and that's where I'd like it to be. Fish are a little more active, they've been swimming around a fair good bit. We'll give them one last feed, we can enjoy watching them have a little bit of something to eat together, and then see how they do with that. Just a small little offering. They've been feeding well, they've had a couple throughout today. What I'm going to be doing for my next video is I'm going to get a few of these out and get my records updated and see what the difference in sizes are, seeing how much they've grown. And for an unheated pond, I've had some pretty good growth myself this year, but obviously nothing in comparison to what, you know, anybody with a heated pond is. But this season has been pretty good for them, and they've all come through looking good. They're all doing well. A lot more relaxed, a lot more calmer now. We don't seem to be getting any more visits from the heron or anything, so they're all a lot more settled now. Look at that gusty sanctuary, man. Oh, gutted every time I see that. Doesn't even make a good shura. Talking of which, where is it? Ah, there's my shura just next to the shura there outside of it. It's looking really well, looking good. Oh, sorry, that's the Becco. There's a shura just down there. Looking nice. Not got much size on it, but unheated pond. I'm not going to get massive growth, but everybody's looking well. So that's it, guys. All the job's done, all completed, task finished. I just wish the kitchen wasn't going to be as easy. The garden's tidy, pond's been redone, good clean, fish are looking healthy. We're going into, we're clean, parasite free, no flashing, nobody's irritated. Everybody seems well, everybody's looking good, which is a bonus. But yeah, next video hopefully, come next weekend will be a big ball up. Get them all out for one last time, check them before they go into winter, see how everybody's doing, see what the sizes are. So, if you've been enjoying this kind of content, guys, do us a huge favour. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. And why not give it a bit of a hype? You'll see it just down there at the bottom of your screen. Till then, guys, keep smiling, and we'll catch you on the next one. Stood on balance beams. Probably one of the most famous ponds.